Hi, Arc Troop Wong.
We're live.
Your brother says hello.
Come on, camera. Switch to camera. Push live.
Yeah, over here.
We're live now.
You wait.
What happened to our... Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Hello, friends.
Whoa. Oh, okay, that was weird. Yeah.
Let's see if it's working here.
Oh, hi, Mark. I mean, Megan. Oh, hi, Megan.
Dang, Twitch is lagging.
Facebook too.
Hello, Angus.
But that's what every time we stream is. It gets really.
Maybe we've got a lot of people on the internet right now. No, maybe not. I got pretty good signal.
I don't know. We gotta look into that.
We will look into this issue.
As always, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitch, we kind of recommend Instagram because Instagram's always better.
Instagram has no problems that we know
so
of.
if you want to switch over to Instagram and watch us there, you'll get a much better stream for sure.
It just might take longer for you to send us messages because it's on your phone.
Is there a way to plug in a keyboard and type?
Actually, I think there is. I think you could do like a Bluetooth keyboard too if you wanted to.
Hi, Cynthia on Instagram.
Hello, Cynthia. I hope we see you next weekend.
Laura, do you know what day it is?
Is this a trick question?
No.
It's the day before Infinity War is officially out.
I mean, I guess you killed it. I was gonna say that it was out tonight, but you get all technical about it.
I'm sorry. Okay. Well, you want to jump into this?
Yeah.
Wait longer?
Yeah. Saturday for sure.
Sweet. We'll see you Saturday then. Okay, so those of us
hold on, before you do, I can't believe that next Saturday already is Free Comic Book Day.
Free Comic Book Day. Yeah. Free Comic Book Day. Well, I can't remember the technical date at this point. But Free Comic Book Day last year was also when we opened. Soft opened. So, guys, we've been open for a year. Oh my gosh.
Our little baby's 1 year old.
Oh my gosh! We need to do a cake smash photo shoot.
Hey, Rose. Hi, Rose.
Hi.
Megamino. Hello, Megamino. Medlock. Draven.
Hi,
Lauren.
Those of you joining us now.
Yeah.
I'm Laura. This is Jason.
Hello.
And tonight's topic, we're going to just talk about the MCU in general, what it's done, where it's going,
what we've enjoyed.
What we've enjoyed, what we hope to see, maybe some predictions.
Yeah.
Just to kind of get us a little more hyped for the movie, which is technically releasing tonight.
Tomorrow officially.
Tomorrow officially. We'll be seeing it tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
And then next week's stream, we will talk about the movie. So that gives everybody about a week to see it. And then jump back on here next Thursday, same time, and we can all talk about it. Or you guys are always welcome to come to the shop and kind of chat live. In person, I mean.
Yeah,
then
come join us.
Type.
Yeah. Yeah, today's the appetizer for the movie. Next week will be the entree.
You also Instagram. Oh, hello, it's Jess. I was about to say her icon wasn't showing up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna let you lead us. I think you had a list.
Oh, okay. Well, I just as Marvel has been basically shoving down our throats, reminding us it's been 10 years of the MCU. We've had 10 years of movies. Iron Man came out back in 2008. And so I just wanted to look back at the films that have come out since then. I'm not gonna name them all, but
there's a lot.
Yeah. But I just wanted to kind of have us talk about our favorites, which ones we thought were really good, which ones we thought kind of surprised us. Everybody watching, by all means, please jump in and tell us what you thought as well. What were your favorite movies from the MCU? Because even though we read the comic books, and anybody who might read the comic books, these aren't always literal translations. They do their own thing, take their liberties. They kind of surprise us sometimes. Sometimes it works, sometimes maybe not so much. And so I just wanted to talk about our faves.
Yeah. Angus, I feel like you're probably going to be trying something else. But we'll see.
I was like, I don't get it. Oh, okay, get it now.
So we have Angus, who is a regular here. He only drinks specific things on our menu. So he's saying that if Nick Fury survives, he'll try something other than the Cobblepot or Nitro.
So I'm going to assume that his prediction is Nick Fury dies.
I feel like that's kind of what he's saying.
That's probably okay.
I feel like Nick Fury might survive just because it's Nick Fury. Anyways, that's later on. Okay, let's move. Let's go with your list here.
Phase 1. Phase 1. We got Iron Man. We got Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain America, the first Avengers. In Phase 1, what was maybe your favorite film or your favorites?
My favorite?
Yes.
I would say, out of all of those movies, the one that I'd probably pick to watch is The Avengers.
Okay.
I mean, but that's what it was building up to.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously they really wrote that one to be really awesome. Other than that, I would honestly say probably Thor.
What's up, hero? I want Iron Man to die. I'm tired of him. I expect Cap to die.
Iron Man does. I mean, Tony does screw up a lot. We'll just put it that way.
I don't totally disagree with you. I think both characters are interesting because I feel like you can kill off their people, but still have the character live. Like you can kill off Steve and Tony, but have someone else take over the armor and take over the shield.
Correct.
Which is kind of what I want for Cap. I love Chris Evans in the role, but I kind of want to see Bucky or Falcon take over.
I wouldn't mind that.
Hero says, watch it be Hawkeye. Wait, watch it be Hawkeye who dies or takes over? I can see Hawkeye maybe taking over.
Taking over what?
Cap.
I don't really see
actually neither. Just kidding. Neither. He's not gonna give up his bow and arrow.
He's not gonna do that. No. He's got a family.
What if he has a star-spangled bow and arrow, and each arrow has like a fireworks stream that comes up behind it?
Oh my gosh!
Like real America.
Okay.
Okay.
It sounds like some old vintage comics you're talking about. Okay, so back to this list. I think that I would probably watch Thor because I kind of liked where they were going with it.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh, it's Hero.
It's a Heroception. Yeah, Hero join us.
Hero is making an appearance.
Hey guys.
What's up?
I'm also watching them. So yeah.
That's weird.
If you remember a few weeks ago, Hero was on our stream, right? When was that?
It was for
It seems like it's probably a while ago.
Black Lightning.
That was it.
So if I just heart this, and then you see that there too. All right, you guys go back and talk. See ya,
I think I really liked Thor just in general. Also, I loved Natalie Portman in it too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bummed that she's not part of the MCU at the moment. But I think out of all of those, I enjoyed that one the most. Other than the Avengers.
I like the OG Iron Man. I mean, that was
the very first.
Yeah, I mean that was the film that probably shouldn't have worked, but it did. And when I say it shouldn't have, is like Iron Man at the time wasn't necessarily A-list. Robert Downey Jr. wasn't really back in the spotlight quite yet. It was a movie produced basically by Marvel Studios themselves, so they were brand new. Like they didn't quite know what they were doing. It was really low budget. Well, not well. I mean, in terms of the other ones, it was lower on the end.
Well, I mean, it was the start. Like you start pretty low.
So the fact that it freaking exploded into the big phenomenon that it was, this is a testament to how good it was. I actually rewatched it earlier this week to kind of get ready for Infinity War, and it still holds up. Like I still really liked it.
Okay.
So yeah, and then the Avengers because it's them all teaming up for the first time.
Yeah.
I mean, I still remember watching it in the theater, and that one shot towards the end where they all kind of get in a circle back to back, and the camera kind of goes around them, and they do the big heroic shot. Like at that moment, I remember geeking out.
Oh yeah.
Because it was like me as a kid. It was like I just want to see these characters together, and there was that moment.
Fighting together, working together, and all that stuff. Yeah. No, I totally know what you mean about that. Like I see why Iron Man would be a good pick.
Yeah. Anyhow, Phase 2.
Oh, also, you guys, if anybody wants to chime in too and tell us which one was your favorite of Phase 1, let us know.
Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, the entire thing. Just let us know with your favorites. Phase 2, we got Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man.
The Winter Soldier is my favorite.
Was that?
Are they actually broken down by the Avengers movies? Different phases? Because I know Avengers 1 and then Phase 1.
Not really, not anymore. Phase 1, but not 2 or 3. Sorry, you were saying?
Captain America: The Winter Soldier is my favorite.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I'm totally a Bucky fangirl. Totally. And I just thought it was a really interesting storyline in general, and the soundtrack was like amazing to me. Specifically, it was just like the different, just little things here and there in the soundtrack, specifically in terms of his character, Bucky. It just kind of like would give me chills during certain parts of the music. I just thought it was pretty cool. And on top of that, I also do kind of have a little bit of a sentimental thing, because I did my first, I guess we were calling it pinup Winter Soldier cosplay. That was like my very first time that I really cosplayed. Like I had a sleeve and everything. So that's what got me actually into cosplaying. Okay. So I enjoyed it. I also kind of liked the bromance thing going on.
I would say Winter Soldier is probably like one of the better films from that phase. But it wasn't my favorite. Like my favorites were Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man.
I'd say those were the funniest.
And I think that might be why they're my favorite. Not because I wanted humor, but because they surprised me the most.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy was freaking awesome.
I'd say probably out of those two, I would say Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Ant-Man, I think, surprised me the most, but I enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy the most.
Guardians for me was like, I don't know what to expect. And then we got something that was great. Ant-Man was like, I don't know how this is going to work. And we got something that was great.
Archie Wong knows me well. Of course, Winter Soldier.
I think he was answering.
Okay.
That was before you said.
Kelly said Guardians. Archie Wong also says he was surprised. He surprisingly loved Ant-Man as well. And then Megan says Guardians and Ant-Man. I wonder why.
I mean,
she doesn't know you at all.
No. She has really good taste.
Daryl says
he's
favorite Marvel character is Howard the Duck. That was a pretty interesting little cameo.
I like how he specifies the 70s comic book version. Do not even talk about the film.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Daryl, what do you think of his a couple of appearances in the cinematic universe?
Was there a couple? I thought there was just one.
He has one. I think he has two. I think he's there twice.
Is it just like
quick little
in
cameos,
the background type thing? Because I only remember him. Oh, yeah. I think I only really remember him in the end credit scene.
Yeah, he has a speaking role in the end credit. He has a line, but I think he's in the background earlier in the film, and I want to say he has a quick appearance in the later film too. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Like I could have sworn he's also in Guardians 2. I don't know. I could be wrong on that.
Sorry guys, I'm cold.
And yeah, moving on. Phase 3.
Okay.
Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians Volume 2, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Thor: Ragnarok, Black Panther. Those are the films we've had so far.
And it's ending.
Infinity Wars.
Infinity War.
Well, I don't know if it's technically ending because I think officially it's ending with Avengers 4.
Oh, so you got 3 and a 3.5.
Yeah, I kind of say there's Phase 3 and then Phase 3.5, which is after Infinity War, because we're going to get Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, and then Avengers 4. So I think officially Phase 3 ends with Avengers 4, but it's like a weird little coda.
Interesting.
So anyhow, Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians 2, Spider-Man, Thor: Ragnarok, Black Panther. Of those, what have been your favorites?
Oh, that's hard. See, I really Guardians Volume 2 was good. It was not as good as the first one for me.
Agreed.
I didn't have as much fun. It was still good. I liked it. I think the most fun out of all of them I had was with Spider-Man: Homecoming. But Captain America: Civil War was one of the movies that kind of punched you in the feels.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of more drawn to the movies that have that deeper emotional kind of reaction. So I think that if I had the choice between which one to watch, I'd probably go with Civil War.
Okay. I actually really like Phase 3 films. It's hard for me to pick a favorite.
Yeah. They were all really good, though. But the way that I see it is if I were to pick which one to watch, which one would it be?
I honestly don't know. I love Doctor Strange.
That one actually super surprised me.
It was trippy in the best possible way. The graphics are amazing.
There was
really
a little bit of funny, just a little bit.
So I really like that one. Civil War, I actually just rewatched last night. Overall, as a film, it has its moments, but overall, it's kind of it kind of dragged on a little bit for me sometimes.
Okay.
Like the big fights were epic. When everybody's throwing down, that was amazing. There was a lot of good heart-to-heart moments and tearing you apart between Cap and Iron Man. But overall, I was
that movie kind of stressed me out.
Just kind of get going already. So I don't know. Guardians 2, like you said, not as good as the first one. Still fun. I don't say as good. Spider-Man: Homecoming was awesome. I love Spider-Man: Homecoming. Thor: Ragnarok was really good though. By far my favorite Thor film.
I agree. Thor: Ragnarok surprised me in that it changed so drastically. And we've talked about this before. Going from Thor, and what was the movie he was in before Ragnarok? He wasn't in Civil War, was he?
Like cameo?
Yeah. No, he was in Civil War.
No, he wasn't in Civil War.
No, he was in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, the last movie he was fully in was Age of Ultron. He did have a little bit of actually, no, that was it.
So there's a big gap there that we don't exactly see, and so I feel like between when we last saw him to Ragnarok, he really changed. And I buy into it, it's fine, but it definitely changed what people thought of him as. And I think it kind of helped to reinvent him and make him a little more interesting to people. It was a lot funnier than I expected. Mm-hmm. And I thought they did a really good job.
A couple comments people said. I think both Angus and Megan back me up that Howard the Duck was also in Guardians too.
Okay.
Daryl said that he thinks it's great that they brought him back into the new movies, although it was briefly. Megan has already answered ahead of time. Her favorite film from Phase 3 is Captain Marvel. I'm assuming is what she means by that.
Okay.
Because she loves Captain Marvel as a character, so automatic win. Angus, he says his favorite is Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, and then Dalal says Captain America rocked. Rocked and currently rocks.
And this. She says, yeah. And then Angus said the Dark World.
I think he was just responding to like where have you seen Thor previously.
This is a test drink we made.
A test drink?
It's almond milk, vanilla flat white with decaf. If either of you want, we're just testing this out.
Oh, you guys!
You said a lot of words and I don't understand any of them.
The arrow didn't turn out very well, I guess. We're working on a new stencil to celebrate Avengers.
I'm gonna show Instagram.
So they're testing it out. You gotta move lower. Not lower, like that way.
I can't. You can see mostly, right? There's an A. Avengers.
I don't know how we would have
you can take off the webcam.
Facebook and Twitch if you want to see. Kind of see the arrow a little bit. So I'm not sure when we're going to be serving this. I assume it's going to be ready tomorrow. So if you stop in, you can request it or just see if you happen to get it.
It's a little hot. I'm going to let it cool down a little bit before we try it. Unless you want to try it now, but
I'll wait on it.
Just chill. Angus is in the running for my favorite comment so far. Matt Damon as Loki is my favorite MCU character.
Oh my gosh, for real. Holy, I was not expecting that at all. Actually, now that we talk about this, maybe Ragnarok was my favorite.
Ragnarok has a lot of good moments in it. And I loved Hela. Hela as a villain.
Hela was amazing.
Oh, be still my beating heart.
Oh, she was so, like, evil, but so graceful, and just, like, she is what she is.
Yeah.
I still want to cosplay her someday. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, do it. She and Killmonger are my favorite villains of the MCU.
Those two. Oh, man, that would be amazing. That'd be so interesting if they met. Side tangent there. I think I'm gonna change my answer. I think Ragnarok is my favorite. now that I keep remembering these things.
Angus, you changed your mind.
Yeah.
Good job.
Oh, and apparently the Thor, the actor for Thor is a Hemsworth. Was it a Hemsworth?
Oh, was it?
That's what I heard. I might be wrong.
There was some connection. I couldn't remember if it was a Hemsworth or it was just stunt person. But maybe it's a Hemsworth.
Look.
It's a third Hemsworth brother that nobody knows.
Thor. What would be Thor Ragnarok?
Fake Thor? I don't know.
Fake Thor act. Oh, there we go. Google populated it for me.
Who plays the actor Thor?
Loading.
We're getting to the bottom of the hard-hitting questions
We
here.
need to know this. Okay.
Yeah, his Luke.
What the?
Yep. It's Chris Hemsworth's brother who played the fake Thor.
Oh, he stars in Westworld.
Yeah. His brother's name is Luke.
Interesting.
Luke Hemsworth.
That's so funny. They don't look really good.
No, not really.
Maybe it's the facial hair. I don't know. But when I found that out, that was even more funny. It would have been way funnier and also kind of mean if they had had Liam do it, because I heard that apparently Liam almost got the part.
The Thor?
Yeah. I might be wrong, but I remember hearing some kind of rumor about that, so that would have been way funnier.
He's too much of a baby, though.
Well, what if they were trying to go for a younger Thor? You never know.
Thor's hundreds of years old.
Okay.
Okay. Now we get to the fun part, predictions, or what we want to see. So phase, like I said, phase...
Do we not want to talk about these?
No, we'll get to this.
Okay.
So after Infinity War, we're going to get Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I'm looking forward to.
Me too. I want to see more of the Wasp.
Yeah. We're going to get Captain Marvel, which I am really looking forward to.
Yes. We don't know much about that either.
It's going to be set in the 90s, which is going to be interesting. We're going to get the Untitled Avengers 4. Who knows what that's going to be? I mean, I'm sure we'll know more about that once Infinity War comes and goes. They've said we want to let people sit with it, digest it, and then reveal the title, because apparently the title is going to tell us a lot.
Yeah.
So that's what we get at the end of Phase 3. And then the only films that they've announced so far officially for Phase 4 are a Spider-Man sequel and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. What do you want to see in Phase 4? And everybody watching, what films do you want to see in Phase 4? Whether it's a sequel to an existing film, a new character introduction, a spin-off of some sort.
I'm just gonna go back to the age-old complaint that they need to give Black Widow a movie. I'm sorry, but she needs something. If you're giving Captain Marvel a movie and she's not even introduced yet so many people want to know more about Black Widow, can we just get one, please?
I was with you for so long, but I feel like at this point, I feel like the ship sailed.
No.
I was like, just
They
whatever.
can still do one.
They could, but like at this point, I just whatever. They missed their chance.
I don't know. I saw some rumor like they have somebody who is working on a script or something. I don't remember the specifics.
I know the fan favorite kind of desire was to see Black Widow and Hawkeye in a film together.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that either.
About the Budapest. Whatever that was.
I would be down for that too.
Film.
Hey, if she that's fine. If she can't get a movie just for her, I'm totally fine with her at least co-starring. The same thing with Ant-Man and the Wasp. Though I feel like the Wasp probably could hold her own.
Yeah. A couple comments. Megan has a prediction. Her prediction is... hold on. She predicts that she's going to cry during Infinity War. A lot. I'm going to say that prediction is going to come true. Daryl is all for a Black Widow movie with a resounding yes. Angus has 2 words, Moon Knight.
Okay, so one of our almost daily regulars came in today and was telling me about Moon Knight. I don't know much about him. Holy crap, this sounds super interesting. Mm-hmm. I would totally watch something like that. I think I'm going to pick up the comics now, because that sounds awesome. And trippy.
Angus, do you think Moon Knight would work better as a film or a TV series?
Ooh.
Because I've heard Moon Knight mentioned for TV before.
Be more of a
like a Netflix
story.
Kind of like what they're doing with Daredevil and all that. So I don't know. I'm not too familiar with the character either. So I mean, Angus, if you're a big fan, what do you want to see? A film or a TV series?
Damon says, I think Secret Wars would be a great movie, but the legal battle to get the rights of every character would probably block that ever being made. Do you mean the old Secret Wars or the Secret Wars that just ended last year?
I'm going to assume he means the original.
The original. Okay.
Yeah, back in the day with like Spider-Man and all that. You know what, Damon? I don't think it's too far off the realm of possibility. Marvel has already gotten back, the usage of Spider-Man. Apparently the Fox Disney merger or buyout is potentially happening, so they might have the rights to X-Men and Fantastic Four.
It's possible.
It's possible, and I think it could happen. I don't know when. He
says original.
Yeah, I don't know when, but I think it's definitely possible. And I think other studios at the very least, are realizing that these films are killing it. Marvel Studios knows what they're doing. It makes sense for these other studios to play ball. to some degree, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think it can happen, and obviously you can make changes. I mean, even if they had the rights to all the characters, will they do it exactly the same as the comic book? Probably not.
They got to.
They'll swap out characters, simplify here, change the bad guy or whatever. But I think it can happen.
Angus says, in terms of Moon Knight, put that ish on Netflix.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm hearing. I hear a lot of people want it on Netflix. It's because you get to sit with a character and develop a story over 10 episodes, and yeah.
Yeah, that if I'm understanding correctly, the things that go on with his character, Moon Knight, it probably would make more sense being more of a Netflix or at least mini-series type thing, for sure.
I think the two safest predictions for Phase 4 are a Black Panther sequel and a Doctor Strange sequel. Those are characters that were just introduced this past phase. Obviously, Marvel likes giving sequels to characters. Black Panther sequel is probably a freaking no-brainer because it destroyed the box office. Doctor Strange, I think, deserves a sequel. I'd love to see that, especially because he has his own magical side of the universe.
That we don't really touch on.
So we need to see that develop more. So I think those are the safest predictions.
I vaguely remember seeing something about a possible Hulk movie. I don't know. I didn't see any real details. I just remember saying that it might be something they're going to do. I think that'd be great because, the previous Hulk movies didn't exactly do too well. But I think, actor. Ruffalo. I think Ruffalo would do pretty well in a movie. Like, personally, I didn't really buy Edward Norton as Bruce Banner. He's a great actor, but I felt like that was a weird casting in general. But I'm okay with Ruffalo, so I don't know. That might be a thing.
I like Edward Norton. Ruffalo is just a different flavor, and I really like that flavor that he's bringing to it. I know kind of the arguments that's been said before is that can Hulk sustain his whole movie? When he's in the Hulk, he's pretty one-dimensional. He's just rage and he destroys stuff, so it's going to be a lot of Bruce Banner to make the story interesting at all, and then do people really want to see a Bruce Banner film? No, you want to see the Hulk. So the argument's kind of like you save Hulk for appearances in other films. You use him as the special treat in the film. So I think there's a lot of cool Hulk stories that could happen if they get the right one and do it right. And then also I think there's still some sort of legal battle with Hulk, technically. That I think is it Universal maybe? I think Universal has the right to make a Hulk film with Hulk on the title. Marvel can use them in films, but Universal has to produce a film that's a Hulk film. It's like some weird thing.
Like that's their negotiation.
Yeah. So I don't know. And I don't know if it's Universal. No, I think it's Universal. Anyhow, if somebody knows, by all means chime in and let me know, correct me. But I think that's kind of the thing that's holding up a fully Hulk movie. But like I said, they would be smart to play ball with Marvel Studios and let Hulk have his own film. Especially with Mark Ruffalo, and now that people know his version of Hulk, I think it'd be well received for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Anyhow, Phase 4. So far we've had sequels, and I'm predicting a couple more sequels. What new characters do we want introduced into Phase 4? Angus said Moon Knight, but then he also kind of said he wants that on Netflix, so that still leaves the slate open. What new character we want to have introduced in Phase 4? Got anybody?
America. Look, I'm also going to say I would love to see more of the women characters being put up front and center. And America is one of those more recent characters that I think would be really interesting to see. Who's the actress that's been kind of like petitioning online to be cast as her? I think she's from one of the police comedy shows?
I don't know.
What's the one with Sandberg?
Yeah, Sandberg, Brooklyn
Nine-Nine.
That's what I wanted to say it is, but I don't know. I don't want to.
Whatever show that is. I would buy into it. I think that'd be really interesting.
I didn't think about America, but now that you say that, oh my god, I want to see an America film so bad. I love America as a character. She's such an awesome character. Woman, person of color, LGBTQA, like, and she's just a badass character. She punches holes in the fabric of reality. Like, that's such a cool power.
That's crazy.
And they're star-shaped holes, not just holes. They're perfectly star-shaped. It's a little goofy. But now that you say that, I kind of want to see like a Young Avengers film.
That'd be interesting.
Like, I mean, I don't know how obviously like Infinity War is going to end or how Avengers 4 is going to end, but maybe it ends with a way that there's like a new era, a new younger generation of heroes kind of waiting to come up, you know? Because in this universe, Spider-Man is the only kid.
Yeah.
He's the next generation. Well, there has to be other ones.
Well, they're already obviously getting to the point where they're kind of passing on the torch. Like, Thor is, like, he doesn't have his dad. He's the ruler now. Like, he can't just be running around with the Avengers.
Right. He's got responsibilities, yeah.
And Steve Rogers, he left his shield. Like, he's pretty much moved on so far. I mean, we don't know at this point until the movie. But, you know, it's obvious that some of these characters are getting older to the point where they may have to move on to other things, which means they're going to pass the torch or somebody else is going to take over or whatever. So there's definitely room for something like that. Yeah. I mean, Wanda, she's not as old as some of these characters, but she's still a little bit younger and newer to where she could continue just fine. So there's totally room to bring in some more younger people to kind of start taking over. If not taking over, at least being there as part of the team for however long.
I would love to see Kate Bishop introduced. And have a Hawkeye movie with Clint and Kate together.
That would be interesting.
Like the comic book. Because that comic book was amazing. They had both of them together. They both shared the mantle of Hawkeye. I want to see that in the film. And again, that would tie in with the whole next generation of characters coming through. If you have a younger Kate being mentored by Clint.
That'd be pretty cool. I would like to see him a little bit more.
I would.
We got a little bit more personality from him in Age of Ultron. Was it Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
And it kind of made me want to see more of him because so far he's just kind of been just there. No offense, but he doesn't really add too much. And you don't see much of his personality until Age of Ultron. So, yeah, I think that'd be great if we could see a little bit more of him.
Angus says that he wants to see Alejandra Jones Ghost Rider in the MCU. I have to admit, I am not familiar with Alejandra Jones. I don't follow Ghost Rider. I'm assuming that's a newer version of Ghost Rider. But now I want to look her up. So.
It's popping tonight.
I know, man. It's loud in the background.
Let us know if you guys can hear us or not. We can try and fix that. Let's see, who else? I'm trying to think. We've already got Jessica Jones.
Oh, I know. Adam Warlock. It's almost like 100% positive that Adam Warlock's going to be introduced in Guardians 3. Because, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched Guardians 2, at the end of the film, there was a cocoon, and that's clearly Adam Warlock's cocoon. So if you introduce him in a Guardians 3 earlier in the phase, you can have Adam Warlock film at the end of the phase. And he is a badass cosmic character that I think a lot of people have been wanting for a long time. So I think he'd be a good one. I'm trying to think what other space character. Nova, maybe? I know he got introduced to the Nova Corps in Guardians 1, but maybe having either Richard Rider or what's the young kids? Sam Alexander, I think, the young version of Nova. Again, I feel like I'm just defaulting to young kids. Sam Alexander is like the young version of Nova. Maybe you just give us all these young. I mean, that's really kind of what Phase 4 is going to be, I think. Phase 3 is the end of this chapter. It was all been leading up to Thanos. It's going to wrap up however it wraps up.
Right.
Why not have Phase 4 be like a new generation coming up and have the younger characters? America, Kate, Sam Alexander, Patriot from Young Avengers.
I also, I'm kind of going back to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I would love to see Silk.
Okay.
What's that smile for? I actually really like her character.
Because it was like, I didn't think about it, but of course you want to see Silk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just in general, like it addresses all of the issues that I have with film in general. Like, she's Asian American. She's a female Spider-Man, not Spider-Man, but Spider character.
Yeah.
And she can do all this cool stuff, and she goes through this personal journey that I feel like a lot of people can connect to. And I think it would be really interesting to have her in this universe in general, because you see her kind of flipping sides and just struggling, and I feel like that I guess not necessarily downfall, but how she's going through her life in the comics, I think would be super interesting to be on film. And she'd be one of those characters where you aren't sure she might be helping out the bad guy.
I'm gonna put a little burst in your bubble, and I don't think she could be in the MCU. I think no, not because I don't think she could fit. I think she's a Spider character, so it'd be Sony. I don't think.
Yeah, but we got Spider-Man, so if they're ever wanting to expand it.
Sure, if they ever agree to that, I think right now the agreement is you gotta use Spider-Man, but that's it. So I think Silk could exist in a weird pocket of the MCU that only Sony touches, like with Venom and whatever.
This is different. Let's not get on that one.
Guys, what do you think of the Venom trailer?
No! Let's save that for the end.
Okay, hold up. Okay, on Instagram, somebody asked, if you have time for it, do you have any thoughts on Namor being left out so far the MCU film shows, and how he could be introduced at this point? I think he is an amazing character that, if it wasn't for legal rights, would have been in the universe already.
He's originally part of X-Men, isn't he? The X-Men side. Because I read that he's a mutant of some sort.
Yeah, so yes and no, I think. Okay. And again, I may be wrong. He was one of the first heroes created for Marvel. Back in the day, the mutants weren't around. They basically retconned his origin to say he's a mutant.
Okay.
On top of being Atlantean. Because that explains why, he has, the wings on his feet or something.
Why
that's his mutant. Yeah.
Features.
So he's a mutant. He's the first mutant I get. Well, not really, because Apocalypse, but anyhow. But I think he's owned by another company. And I'm blanking on which one it is. But I think another company has rights to him.
Okay.
Which is why they haven't been able to use him. Again, I'm saying other studios should get on board and play ball with Marvel and let them use him.
They're gonna make so much money.
Yeah, let him use him. Or maybe they're just running down the clock and eventually the rights will be up and they'll get him back. Whenever the rights come back to Marvel, I'm almost positive they'll introduce him. As far as whether Fox has claim to him, I'm going to say it's probably the same case as Quicksilver and Scarlet. Marvel can use him. You can't reference the fact that he's a mutant.
Yeah, they completely changed that because they had to. They weren't allowed to say
he probably won't be a mutant in Marvel.
Good point.
But I think he's a character that could be pretty
Shoot, I was going to say something now, I can't remember. Oh well.
See, Angus.
I was just going to say, I heard that Namor is kind of a douche in the comics.
Yeah. When they get rid of Tony Stark, they'll bring in Namor. But we need a douche. We need a douche in the
What if
MCU.
he's like really bad, like obvious, like I hate you.
Oh, he thinks he's way better than everybody. Yeah.
That's right. That's what it was. He's superior.
Yeah. Okay, Angus was asking what villains do we want to see introduced, and also he says personally I want to see Taskmaster. What villains?
We're almost up on an hour, so we're gonna need to wrap up soon.
Yeah. I'd personally really like to see Red Hulk. And I think he's kind of more of like an anti-hero, or there's multiple versions of him, but I think it'd be interesting to see. I don't know, maybe not.
Didn't they make reference to Red Hulk?
Did they? I don't remember.
In the last movie, or one of the movies, like something to do with the blood that dropped into something or other.
Just so you know, we'll be closing
there was an Incredible Hulk?
Yes.
Well, some blood dropped into the doctor's brain. I'm blanking on his name. The brain, and started mutating, and he was going to become the leader.
I can show you in the preview. It's coming out.
But I don't remember Red Hulk.
I don't remember. Never mind.
Anyhow, I was laughing because I said Red Hulk, but I always complain about Marvel films villains always being a copy of a good guy.
Maybe put him in up against a different character.
Okay, fair enough. It's a good way of avoiding that.
Justice versus He-Man and the Master.
Who else? What other villains? I mean, I don't know. The ones I'm thinking of, they don't have rights to. Like, I'd love to see Doctor Doom.
Asking questions for emphasis.
I mean, he's obviously more of a Fantastic Four villain, but I think he's an awesome villain. He'd be good. I don't know. Angus, do you have any other ones?
Papa's gonna get a brand new yacht.
Well, do we want to move on?
Yeah. I just wanted to ask anybody watching who hasn't watched Infinity War, if you happen to go to a screening, zip it. We don't want to hear anything. No spoilers, please. But Laura, you or anybody watching, do you have any predictions of what might happen in Infinity War or Avengers 4 after the fact? So I have a few things I think might happen or I might want to see happen.
Well, your list here pretty much covered what I was thinking. Obviously, there are going to be some deaths in this movie.
Oh, there better be deaths.
There's no way that they're going to do this movie without people dying.
Hold on, sorry, I'm going to interrupt. Angus said Kang. Kang, yes, that's a good one. Kang the Conqueror, and I think you could... I'm going back to the Young Avengers again, but you can rework Kang and Vision and doing the whole young Kang that was in Young Avengers. Anyhow, back to predictions.
I don't know if I want to specify who I think is going to die. That could potentially be spoilers.
If it turns out to be right?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't say who. I have a couple of people listed down. I'm not going to say them. But I honestly think a good number of characters need to die. If for no other reason to show that Thanos is an actual threat. Like, honestly.
Bye.
Hello, friend. Okay. Okay. Will do. Yeah, I mean, the trailers have shown that Thanos wants to wipe out half of the universe. So realistically, I mean, like, half of the Avenger characters need to die. And I know that seems like a lot, but I think there needs to be some actual stakes at play here.
But with the thing too is with this gauntlet, like he can pretty much do anything, right? Or anyone who has it can do anything.
Yeah.
So even with the thought that he could wipe out like whatever he wanted, he could also bring back whatever he wanted.
Right.
So there's a potential of seeing other characters come back. I mean, there's no guarantee, but that would be super interesting to see, because there's been a few deaths, not a lot, but That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, and
even if for a minute.
Yeah, and I don't think everybody who dies needs to stay dead. I mean,
not necessarily.
I mean, like you said, someone can grab the gauntlet who's not Thanos and bring back people. Like,
yeah.
And I don't know the logistics behind it. Can you bring back everybody? Is there a certain limit to the power? Like, but say you kill off 12 characters, bring back 6. You know, like
yeah.
But I think a good number of people need to die. I think Quicksilver will be brought back to life in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's just it's just a trick to get to Scarlet, or
that'd be kind of cool to at least see him.
Yeah, because we only got a little bit with him.
I'm a little bummed that we didn't get to learn more about him previously.
He seems like an obvious answer to someone coming back to life.
Yeah.
I think it'd be awesome if Hela makes an appearance, because okay, I don't want to say this. I don't want to spoil it for people who don't know the comic books.
Not.
I just want Hela to come back.
All we know for sure is that we don't know for sure that she died. So
right.
We don't actually see her die. And even then, we have seen like Loki die, but he didn't really die.
Yeah,
so.
He dies like every movie, but doesn't die. He's basically honorary Winchester at this point.
Yeah, for real.
This next one's a reach, I'll say that. But with the Venom film coming out, and he has a symbiote or symbiote or whatever the argument is.
I have a comment on that later.
I think Sony's Spider-Man films are like technically in the MCU, but not really. They're like their own kind of bubble. But the symbiote needs to come from somewhere. I think maybe they might be introduced in Infinity War or Avengers 4, just like as a Easter egg kind of thing. Like somehow a ship comes by and you see it kind of scurrying away. It's not a big thing, but I think maybe that could be a cool introduction of how it gets to the larger universe that Venom then uses.
So maybe they're making the movie Venom before, like, early, and technically there could be a Spider-Man movie featuring the symbiote. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it's like, here's the Venom story, and then we're gonna make the origin story. Do you think they could do that?
They could. It kind of seems like...
For you guys, if you don't know, technically Venom's abilities are based off of Spider-Man's, because he originally tried to unite or whatever with Spider-Man. And so when he moves on to Eddie Brock, it moves on to Eddie Brock. It's still a lot of its...
It kind of imports some of the
A lot of the things that it does is very much similar to Spider-Man. Like, if you look at the trailer, even now, it, like, shoots things and grabs people similar to what a spider web does. Or Spider-Man's web does. So a lot of people are upset because they're wondering, how is this Venom going to even have these abilities without Spider-Man? So I'm wondering if they have the ability to do something like that. Maybe the Spider-Man movie or whatever is going to be like an origin story.
It looks like Facebook and Twitch is frozen.
I'm going to try to find Avengers. I'm going to try to watch it tonight.
Good luck, man.
Alright, go for it. Yeah, we lost.
Yeah, Facebook, Twitch, I don't know if you can hear us. The picture is frozen on our end. So if it's froze for you guys, but you can hear us, sorry about that. Like I said, you could jump over to Instagram if you like. We're still going there. We're probably going to wrap up in the next couple minutes anyway. So thanks for joining in. Yeah, thanks for joining in, and we'll see you next week. Anyhow, yes, Venom, I don't know how it's going to connect it, but maybe the symbiotes might be introduced in Infinity War or Avengers 4. I think the entire film might end with Thanos snapping his fingers and either couple things happening. He snaps his fingers, and a bunch of characters die. He snaps his fingers, and it cuts to black. Roll credits, because that'd be frustrating as hell, and you'd have to watch Avengers 4. Or he snaps his fingers, and it basically shows a new version of reality where things are totally different. And I think it might be kind of cool if in that reality, say we have a Miles Morales Spider-Man, or a Bucky Captain America. So we have a reality that's totally different, and it won't stick maybe, or maybe some things stick around. I don't know. But I think it's going to end with something pretty dramatic, some big cliffhanger for sure. And then my last prediction is that the post-credits tease is going to be Captain Marvel based. That seems like a pretty solid guess.